By popular consensus, last Halloween was the spookiest, most bone-chilling candy glut in recent memory. And it wasn't just the candy that exceeded expectations. Oh no! All the neighbors prided themselves on their decorations, too. The festivities were magnificent, and no one appreciated the ghoulish cheer more than Little Bat. How Little Bat loved Halloween, especially last Halloween. The Bat family jack-o'-lanterns, they were the best in town, especially Grandma Bat's, whose pumpkin looked like it had been carved by Michelangelo or Camille Claudel herself. Farmer Finkelstein's scarecrows gave Bats such a fright that she thought they should be called Scare Bats. And all night long, Dr. Hueso's skeletons rattled eerily, their bony percussion riding the wind with the falling leaves. It gave Bat the heebie-jeebies, the willies, and goosebumps the size of pumpkins. It was all so magical, and that was before the witch flew across the moon. Yeah, you heard that right. At the end of the night, when Bat and her pals, Cat and Rat, were on their way back home after trick-or-treating, Bat saw a real witch flying a silver broom cross the moon and heard her cackling cry, "Hee hee hee hee." Cat and Rat didn't believe Bat, but Bat didn't mind. She said it was even more creepy special because only she had seen it. It was the perfect Halloween. Well, except that Bat's hippopotamus costume had been too bulky and hot, and she had to take it off at the first candy stop. Well, Bat wasn't going to make the same mistake twice. Oh no. She started planning her next costume that very night. In fact, it came to her in a dream. The next Halloween, she would become, drumroll please, Professor Twinklebrains, mad scientist, zombie ballerina. She just could not wait. Now it's October again, and Bat's in her bedroom rafters in the attic above the public library, working on her costume. She's been fine-tuning it for months now, and it's finally ready to try on. Einstein fright wig? Check. Zombie green skin toner? Check. Pink tutu? Check. She's ready. She drums on her bedroom door. In her very best ringleader voice. Bats and batlings, your attention please as I present to you your future Halloween queen of the night, Professor Twinklebrains. She flings open the door and pirouettes out into the hall. Mama Bat smiles. Brother and Sister Bat shriek with delight, and Grandma Bat chuckles. You're a hairy flamingo. How wonderful. Little Bat knows she's just being silly. She always teases when she's excited. Papa Bat smiles too, but his smile is a sad smile. Come here, Little Bat, he says. I have some hard news that needs sharing. Little Bat's heart trembles just a bit. You know it's been a strange year, and lots of things have been different. School's been different, right? Summer's been different, wouldn't you say? And now Halloween's going to be different too. Some families are going trick-or-treating, but us, well, you know how we're extra careful to keep Grandma Bat safe and healthy, right? Well, now we have to skip trick-or-treating to keep us all safe and healthy. Little Bat's lip quivers like a moth. Her eyes well up with sadness. But every year we always, on Halloween, we always, Papa Bat's saying more, but Little Bat can't listen. She huffs, and she puffs, and she explodes out of there, out from the attic, out from the library, and out into the cold, open air. She flies fast and furious, and with sadness in her heart, and tears dropping like hot rain wherever she flies. She finally starts to tire as she reaches Farmer Finkelstein's pumpkin patch, so she perches on the tallest crooked pine in the patch to catch her breath and to sulk for a bit. Finkelstein is out in the patch below, tugging at the biggest pumpkin Little Bat has ever seen. He's out of breath too, and he sits back to rest for a moment and sees Little Bat up in the pine tree. "Good evening, Little Bat."
"What's good about it?"
"Well, I'm getting ready to carve jack-o'-lanterns. I'd say that's pretty good. And I'm setting aside this here prize pumpkin for your grandma to carve up. Whew, I can't wait to see what miracles she works with this cucur-bitten wonder." Bat just sulks and whispers to herself, "It won't be the same." "What's that?"
"I said it won't be the same as last Halloween."
"Well, I suppose you're right. It won't be the same. Maybe it'll be better."
"Impossible."
"Well, I think my new scarecrows are turning out spookier than ever. Want to come see what I've been working on? They'll be ready to put out on the patch just as soon as I get the jack-o'-lanterns carved up for their heads."
"I said it won't be the same."
And with that, Little Bat flies off in a huff of fast fluttering wings. After a few more minutes of furious flapping, Bat runs out of steam again and finds a branch in Dr. Huesos' chestnut tree. Down below, Dr. Huesos is hanging the first of her skeletons from the lowest branches. She looks up and sees Bat.
"Buenos noches, Murcielaguita.
Come down here. Not too close, of course, but close enough to see my new skeletons. This one is a piñata, packed full of my favorite dulces. And that one is made of real huesos, real bones. You'll love it."
"What's to love? Papa says I can't go trick-or-treating and Halloween won't be the same." "Well, I don't want to hear about skeletons or love or anything."
And off she flies. Whenever Little Bat needs some space and time to herself, she goes to the graveyard, and that's where she's heading now. She passes Cat's house on the way. It's the last house right by the gate at the bottom of the hill. Bat hears something rustling on the porch and thinks it might be Cat, so she flies down to see. It's not Cat. It's just Cat's human, old Miss Salem, sweeping aside the leaves with her gnarled silver broom.
"Happy Halloween, Little Bat,"
says Miss Salem. Thanks, Miss Salem." Bat flaps hello and goodbye and flies on up into the graveyard. It's quiet on the hill, out on the edge of town, and the autumnal colors swirl about the mossy old stones. Bat takes a deep breath. The air is thick with the smells of wet leaves and wood smoke from nearby chimneys. She loves those fall smells, and for a while she loses herself in them. Her heart resumes its gentle rhythm. Her tired eyes start to relax, and just when she forgets all about trick-or-treating and Halloween, she hears something spooky not too far off. Woo woo! At first, she thinks it must be Owl hooting hello, but woo! No, that's not Owl's hoot. It's more of a boo, a howl, or even a boo of sorts, and it's getting closer. Boo! And louder. Boo! Out tumble Cat and Rat, wrapped in the trappings of bedsheet ghosts. Bat smiles. "Cat, Rat, what splendid ghouls you make! Yes, superb haunting! Very well done." Then she remembers that she's supposed to be mad, and she flips her smile back upside down.
Oh, fiddle fudge and fudgy frogs, why'd you make me remember? Papa says I can't go trick-or-treating because we have to be extra careful for Grandma Bat during the pandemic. Beetle boogers and bile biters, no, Rat says. Snake snot and soupy skins, but we always go trick-or-treating together, says Cat.
Together, they sulk.
But that does make sense,
says Rat.
Yeah, says Cat. Your grandma has a hard time breathing. Dr. Huesos said that's a pre-existing condition, and so you have to be extra careful during the pandemic.
Yeah, I know, says Bat. She loves Grandma Bat so much, more than Halloween, even more than candy. What if, yeah, how about we share our booty with you, suggests Rat. Yeah, says Cat. You can have some of our candy. You'll just have to put it in quarantine for a few days, and then it's all yours. Bat knows they're just trying to be nice, but it's all just too overwhelming. It won't be the same. And off she flies, over the mossy old stones, down the hill, through the gate, past Cat's house, around Dr. Hueso's chestnut tree, and back over Farmer Finkelstein's pumpkin patch, all the way to the top of the library, where she finds a quiet rafter to cry herself to sleep. The days of late October crept by like sad snails, and Little Bat tried not to think about Halloween at all. But deep down, she couldn't help it, and she did, and it made her sad. October 31st, 6 p.m. Nutmeg? And cinnamon? Little Bat loves nutmeg and cinnamon. The sweet scents cut right through her sleep, and she is suddenly wide awake. Out in the kitchen rafters, Papa Bat is grating nutmeg, and Sister and Brother Bat are grinding up cinnamon sticks. Mama's mashing up gobs of molten orange pumpkin flesh, and Grandma is folding over a big buttery dough ball, which can only mean one thing. She's making her world-famous pastry dough. What's everybody doing? Little Bat asks. Sister Bat says, we were all feeling a bit down because we aren't going trick-or-treating this year, so we thought we would cheer ourselves up with an all-night Bat Family Halloween bash. First, we're working on some pumpkin pies. Little Bat's fangs stick out just the littlest bit from under the beginnings of a little smile. And look outside, says Grandma Bat. Down below, by the library's big front doors, is the biggest, most hair-bristling jack-o'-lantern that Little Bat has ever seen. Oh, Grandma, it's a masterpiece. Oh, wow. Thanks, Sugar Bat. Farmer Finkelstein brought me a whopper of a pumpkin last week, and I've been working at carving it ever since. He brought over that frightful Scarecrow, too. He said he made it special for you. Little Bat shudders with spooky glee. Generous man that Finkelstein is. And look at the skeleton, cries Little Bat. Dr. Huesos was thinking of you too. She said that she made it just for you, Pumpkin Wings. We're making a few extra pies to give Finkelstein and Dr. Huesos to thank them for their thoughtfulness and generosity, Mama says. It's cold outside, but the bats are warm up in their rafters above the library. They tell spooky stories while they work on their pies. Then they play pin the tail on the werewolf and go bobbing for onions and milk while Grandma Bat cheers them on with her happy gruesome squeals. Later, when the full moon crests the hill over town, the bats hear a ghoulish boo, boo coming from down below.
Don't be scared. That's just Cat and Rat. They're ghosts this year, Little Bat explains.
The ghosts ring the doorbell. Bing dong. When Little Bat opens the front door, all that's left of the ghouls is a pillow sack full of candy with a note that reads, "We know it's not the same as last year, but we hope this candy will hold you over till next Halloween. Love, Cat and Bat. P.S. Don't forget to quarantine the candy for a few days before you eat any of it. No cheating."
I'll have to find a way to thank them too, thinks Little Bat. Then, as she turns to tell Grandma Bat that this Halloween was even better than last year's, she hears Cat and Rat giggling in the bushes. Boo! 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 Ah! 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 The two ghostly sheets scamper off down the road under the cackling cry of a black-hatted witch on a gnarled silver broom, cutting through the full moon, calling out to all in the town below, "Happy Halloween!"
Hope you've enjoyed our story. Happy Halloween!